Over the past year, immense change has come to Little Miami classrooms. While educators and students are still engaged in the business of teaching and learning, the means by which this business is conducted has significantly changed. At Little Miami, every high school student now has new technology in his or her hands. Our youngest students are developing a deeper passion for reading and writing, and boys and girls of all ages are getting enrichment beyond the cores in the areas of science, technology, engineering, and math. At Little Miami, we are providing the tools for students to become successful in whatever they choose to do.
So when we were looking at our graduating seniors and kind of reviewing the opportunities that they have at our district, we felt like we had seniors graduating without the technology skills that they need. In order to combat that, we did research. We looked at all the different ways that we could think of and that we could find to give our students better technology skills when they leave. And what we found was going to be our best opportunity for our students would be to put laptops in the hand of every student so that their daily experience was including technology. It wasn't around technology, but it all included technology. So about 3 years ago, we began researching what this would look like. And we did a pilot, we did a digital pilot where we put laptops in the hands of our students, and we utilized digital curriculum during that pilot. And we found great information from that pilot. We found that our students and our teachers feel like a blended approach would be best for our educational environment at the high school, where we're not 100% online and we're not 100% in print. But we use that nice blended approach that some days we are utilizing digital materials and some days we are utilizing print materials. We want our students to be able to discuss things verbally, and we want our students to be able to discuss things in writing on a technology, in a technology base. Through that pilot, we found things that we wanted to see in our product that we moved to. We wanted to see flexibility in our digital resources. We didn't want a program that we had to stay with that program and go page by page or screen by screen. Our teachers wanted flexibility because they know what our students need, and they know how to review and enrich, intervene, and they want the flexibility to do that in whatever product that we purchased. So when we went into looking for new products, we had a good idea of what it was that we wanted and what we needed. So last year, we started a year-long review of products. We put together a curriculum team from each content area, and those teachers and I met with representatives from publishers, and from the different presentations, we selected 2 to 3 vendors that we wanted to look at their products. Our teachers then reviewed those products. They used the products in their classrooms. They received student input concerning the products. We did community presentations around the products, and each department or content area selected a product or a digital and print resource that they thought would be work best in their content area. Our Board of Education approved the digital resources. We purchased them during last summer and rolled that out this fall. So prior to the summer, every teacher had all of the digital resources so that they could prepare for classes for this fall. I think that that's why we've had such an outstanding rollout with the Panther PowerUp program, because we had planning. We planned and discussed and really took the time needed to make sure that we crossed all of our T's and dotted all of our I's. Panther PowerUp is an exciting new program for us. It includes a one-to-one technology distribution for our students, and it includes digital resources for our students and teachers. The laptop that we utilize for the Panther PowerUp is a Lenovo N24, and that Lenovo is a very flexible machine, or the N24 is a very flexible machine. It works as a laptop. It folds in half to work as a tablet. It has digital inking capability, so our students can utilize this machine to solve algebraic equations. They can utilize this machine in an art class to draw or to shade. So that inking device gives them a lot more flexibility and uses with the machine. It's more durable. It's designed for student use. It has a more durable casing to it, which I think is nice for our students. We then purchased an extra case to put over the top of the device. We permit students to decorate, personalize the case, the external case that we put on it. And it's been a great, I think, a great opportunity for our students.
It's been pretty neat. At first, I wasn't really sure about doing it because I really like the whole pencil and paper and like seeing everything and being able to do it by hand. And I wasn't sure how much the technology would allow me to do that, but it's been pretty nice actually. So especially with like a lot of the notes, the teachers now, you can download their notes and then write straight onto them without having to like copy down their notes, and it allows you kind of to listen to more of like what the teachers are saying because you don't have to worry about getting all the information down. And then if you have like little things to help you remember, you can just jot that off to the side. So that's really nice. I've loved that personally.
So until I got these new resources from like McGraw-Hill, I never used a textbook. I would use a textbook for my own notes, and then I would create my notes, present it to the students, and they never really had. They had the book as a reference, but a lot of the kids didn't use it. So now that I have McGraw-Hill, I assign chapters for them to read, and they have this program called LearnSmart, and basically it's a robot that knows when the kids are mastering the content, and if they're not, it goes back and like asks the kids in a different way. And it will not let the kids move on until they completely know the content. I think this is like the greatest thing in the world. It's like changed, it has changed everything about my classroom, because not only can they get me and they can get like my online videos, I also create online videos of my content. They can go and use the book as a source. It reads to them. And it asks these questions.
In the 5 years that I've been here as principal, I've not seen as much excitement over learning and curriculum and the discussions that we've had, students and teachers. I think that's been such a positive. I think that when you see the engagement in the classroom and kids are doing many different things, there's a lot more engagement between the teachers, between peers. It's been fantastic. Today I was in Mrs. Lake's class, and she said, you know, if you want to read the text on your device, get your device out. If you want to read it in printed form, get a textbook from the back of the classroom. I think one person went back and got the text, which is fantastic that they get to also use what makes them feel comfortable. And I believe that we are truly preparing them for that step outside of the high school, whether it be college or a job. They're going to be using devices, they're going to be on computers, so they have to have that knowledge.
So we know that literacy is the foundation of all learning, and we also know that here at Little Miami, our literacy frameworks in our literacy framework in our lower grades was often built around programming, and we really looked at that programming and found that our students, we weren't building the excitement of literacy in our students that we feel is important to build passion around reading and writing, to grow our students in the area of literacy, to further develop so when they do get to those higher grades, they are thinking critically. They are writing and responding critically. They are asking the right questions about text and about writing. And so we did some research and really felt like the workshop model was the way for us to move to that next level in our literacy framework in our lower grades. Last year we implemented Writers Workshop. We have had the Ohio Writing Project in with, we have had PD opportunities for our teachers through Ohio Writing Project, and that began last year. A reading workshop meshes beautifully with writing workshop. And so this year we have implemented a reading and writing workshop model in grades K-4.
And it's a very efficient way to teach. Teachers will have worked very hard to teach from standards, not from a textbook. And they start with standards that make sense together. So they might take all of their realistic fiction standards, start with that, create a unit of study, and we have worked hard to find mentor texts, which are just regular trade books that meet the standards that will help teachers teach the standard in a way, in stories that kids are already familiar with or love. So we've chosen books. Teachers are finding books that also are great examples of it, and that's kind of their mini lesson part. And they present that as a whole group. And then throughout the week, they are working on the subcategories of those, let's say, realistic fiction unit. And they are finding stories that kids can read and then giving them assignments to help look for evidence in trade books and stories that help reinforce what has been taught in the classroom. In this model, the mini lesson is kind of the small piece of it, and then the bigger piece is kids working in centers or groups with targeted activities that are reinforcing these skills also, and then the teacher is circulating the groups in, so she's getting to see small groups individually for both reading and writing, and really addressing needs at a differentiated level. So she's meeting kids where they are and helping them understand these standards at the level at which they understand. It is familiar, but I think that there have been, let's say, the daily 5 routines. That was kind of a trend, and a good trend. And you can still take those pieces from, say, daily 5 or center activities and make it part of your reading, writing workshop. The kids already know that pattern. Like I said, this is a very efficient model in which to teach, because it gives you, the structure of it allows you to teach a standards and still address student needs. So I do see it kind of coming around again, but the difference to me is that we're weaving in as many subject areas as possible to try to make it as efficient as possible.
So an area that we felt that our students, that we wanted to provide more opportunity for our students is in the area of STEM opportunities. And STEM is basically an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and math. And when we looked across our district, we didn't find that we had opportunities for STEM type learning at all of our grade levels. So we developed some sort of a STEM opportunity, grades 1 through 12. In first and second grade, we have a science special. The science special correlates with the science that is being taught in the classroom. However, it's giving the student more hands-on and more science opportunity in a special framework. For grades 3 and 4, it's a problem-based learning special, or PBL. And in the grades 3 and 4 special, they work through problem-based cycles or problem-solving cycles, where they learn to persevere through problems. And this is something that we talk about often with our students, that you have to persevere. You have to persevere through a math problem. You have to persevere through an assessment. You have to persevere through whatever it is in life. And so we really feel like the PBL special gives our students that opportunity to learn to persevere in a special environment. At grades 5 and 6, we have a science and technology class, which again has problem-solving components to it. In grades 7 through 12, we have Project Lead the Way. In grades 7 and 8, it's called Gateway. That's the foundational piece to Project Lead the Way. And then in grades 9 through 12, we have Project Lead the Way. Our Project Lead the Way is an engineering focus. In grades 7 and 8, all 7th grade students, or most all 7th grade students, take Gateway Foundations their 7th grade year, and then their 8th grade year, they have the opportunity to take an elective their 8th grade year, and it's titled Robotics, Flight, and Space. We selected engineering for Project Lead the Way at the high school. We've had many students specify that they would like to pursue a career in engineering. So we felt like an engineering strand for Project Lead the Way would work best for us. Our opportunities at the high school, our students had the opportunity to take physics classes and science classes that help in an engineering career field. However, we didn't have specific engineering classes. And so our students now have the opportunity to have engineering classes their freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year, which give them that better, stronger foundation to go on and further their education in an engineering opportunity.
What we've been able to do this year is take a group of students who've gone through our IT programs, bring them into the Panther PowerUp Center, and be able to provide that first line of support for students. So the students walk up, somebody who usually knows them, knows their name, is able to say hi, ask what the problem is, and take care of whatever might be going on. So it's been really successful, been able to have students helping students and solving issues kind of as they come up.
So one thing that is very important for a student to understand is that in order to succeed in life, they have to persevere. They have to make it through the difficult part to get to the prize, to get to the end. And so something that we want to ensure that our students understand and can do is to persevere, to have that grit that takes them through something that's maybe uncomfortable or unpleasant to get to the end point, which is where they're the desire to be. So through our STEM classes, we do a lot of problem solving. We do a lot of introducing either a real world problem, a simulated problem, where students have to figure out. We don't give them all of the answers. They have to figure out and come back with their thoughts, with their theories, with the next step in order to get to the end of what we're looking for. And that's something that we find really important, not only in our STEM opportunities, but also in our academic classrooms at math. You need to persevere to get through the problem. In an assessment environment, you need to persevere to do well at the end of the assessment, as well as the beginning of the assessment where you're tired at the end. And so perseverance, we feel, is one of those life skills that we really want to teach in our district, that it helps with students in a career, in college, in life in general.